Hello everyone, welcome again to another edition of Storytime with Robbie. Hope you're all having an amazing day and getting more and more excited for Christmas as we are getting so close to Christmas. Today we're going to be continuing with the Christmas themes, the Christmas themed books, obviously, and I am going to be reading you the last elf themed book for you, Memoirs of an Elf by Devin Scillian, and I will be reading you The Great Santa Stakeout by Betsy Bird, and I will be reading you The Santa Trap by Jonathan Emmett, and I will be reading you Santa's Sleigh, It Is on Its Way to My House by Eric James. Hope you enjoy. Let's get started. Alrighty, everybody. The first Christmas themed book I'm going to read you today is Memoirs of an Elf by Devin Scillian. Here we go. Christmas Eve, 9:45 p.m., 2 hours until launch on Christmas Eve. The sleigh is loaded and I feel great. My ears are nice and pointy, and I'm feeling extra short today. Bobbin and Nutshell look really good too. Around the world in 24 hours, it's our job to keep Santa on schedule. I feel so good, and I snap an Elfie. 10:45 p.m., 1 hour before launch, and it begins to snow. The reindeer love it. We elves have a saying, no snow, no Christmas. But at the North Pole, it has snowed every Christmas Eve for like 600 years, so no problem. I sent a text to Santa, time to fly, big guy. He says I worry too much. He's probably right. Little known fact, Santa is a really smart guy. Midnight, launch time. Santa kisses Mama Claus and waves to the other elves. I got the GPS. Bobbin is in charge of the toy bag, and Nutshell has the nice list. Little known fact, we don't even bring the naughty list with us. A crack of the whip and away we go into the polar sky. I start the timer, 24 hours to go. 22 hours to go. So far, so good. Gum and Fiji were a little warm, but back up above the clouds we're as cool as popsicles as we head for New Zealand. Santa is singing, Here Comes Santa Claus. Little known fact, it's his favorite carol. No music, no Christmas. That's what I always say. 18 hours to go, starting to worry about falling behind. Santa always wants to stop and pet every dog. Little known fact, Santa loves dogs and dogs love Santa. He's playing with a dog named Tugboat when I yell down the chimney. Santa, we gotta go. Santa just laughs like he always does. 12 hours to go, halfway around the world. Bobbin and Nutshell are arguing about whether the bag is half full or half empty. We're falling farther behind because the kids have left more cookies than usual this year. Santa tries to eat all of them except ginger snaps. Little known fact, Santa doesn't like ginger snaps, so he gives all of those to me, Bob in a nutshell. Little known fact, number 2, you should leave ginger snaps for Santa. Please and thank you. 9 hours to go. We're really slow getting out of Mexico City. Kids there leave Tay-Mails for Santa, and he loves Tay-Mails as much as cookies. I point to my watch and say, come on, big guy. No, Santa, no Christmas. Santa just laughs and says, not true, Spark. I bet you a candy cane. Little known fact, when Santa is serious about something, he bets you a candy cane. 4 hours to go. We made up time in Brazil, but now Santa is taking too long again. This time he's playing with a train set that he just delivered. We're waiting so long that the reindeer started nibbling on some tinsel. No, I yell. Little known fact, reindeer love tinsel, but it makes them hyper. It's like 50 cups of coffee. Bobbin drags Santa away from the train set. 30 minutes to go. With all of the toys gone, the sleigh is very light now, and it's a good thing because the reindeer are exhausted. Santa pokes his head out of the last chimney and yells, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. We made it with half an hour to spare. Little known fact, at the last house, we always join hands and sing Silent Night, the reindeer too, and we head for home. The North Pole. Ta-da! We've done it again! Around the world in one night, and we made it to every house. We land at the North Pole where everyone is there to greet us. There's singing and dancing and lots of hot chocolate and French toast. But as we're unloading the sleigh, Bobbin says he doesn't think the toy bag is empty. How can that be? We gave away every present on the list. But it's not a present in the bag, and it just licked Bobbin's ear. It's Tugboat. Ho, ho, ho. We have a stowaway, laughs Santa as Tugboat covers his face in kisses. Santa is laughing and smiling, but I'm not laughing, I'm panicking. Santa, I say, we stole someone's dog. The music stops and everyone is quiet. This has never happened before. Mama Claus says what everyone is thinking. I don't think it's a very good Christmas morning at Tugboat's house. Well-known fact, Santa gives things away. He does not take things. We are in ginormous trouble. Any ideas? Asks Santa. Bobbin says we should put Tugboat in a box and mail him home. Nutshell says we should keep Tugboat for a year and take him back next Christmas. I suggest we put Tugboat in a hot air balloon and that he would probably mostly sort of be okay. Mama Claus is the only one thinking clearly. Get back in the sleigh, she yells. But the sun is just coming up. Little known fact, we have never flown during the day. People could see us. We put sunglasses on the reindeer and change into disguises that probably aren't very good. The reindeer are tired and confused, but Santa gives them a few nibbles of tinsel and they race for the runway. Suddenly, we're off like a rocket back in the sky. We're all very worried except Tugboat. He's having the ride of his life. 9:00 a.m. Christmas morning. We land behind some trees near Tugboat's house. Bob in a nutshell stay with Tugboat while Santa and I creep up to the window. It's worse than we thought. There are all of the presents we brought, but they haven't been touched. 3 children are crying. Their mother is on the phone, and their father is standing in the doorway yelling, "Tugboat, tugboat, tugboat, he. Here, boy, how dreadful," whispers Santa. We sneak back to the sleigh. Now it gets complicated. Bobbin thinks we should sneak tugboat down the chimney. Nutshell is thinking about a big slingshot. I'm wondering if the back door is open. It seems impossible, really, but Santa gives Tugboat a pat and says, "Go ahead, boy." In a flash, Tugboat takes off like a rabbit through the trees, plowing through the snow and toward the house. All of a sudden, the whole family is in a pile, covering Tugboat with hugs and kisses. More tears now, but they're the good kind, and I have honestly never seen a happier family on Christmas morning. Santa looks at me and smiles. "No Tugboat, no Christmas," he says. He's right. Of course he's right. I slide a candy cane from my pocket and hand it to Santa as we climb back into the sleigh. Little known fact, Santa is a really smart guy. We're really happy, and before we head for home, we snap an Alfie. Have a Merry Christmas, please and thank you. The end. Go. Alrighty, everybody. The second Christmas story I'm going to read you today is The Great Santa Stakeout by Betsy Bird. Here we go. He was the kind of kid who'd dress up as Santa for birthday parties. And Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. And even talk like a pirate. Bus stop. Ho ho. Hotel. No Vancy. Santa Claus action figure. Kris Kringle. Points of articulation. Santa movie. Freddie had Santa posters, Santa action figures, and Santa underwear. He was even saving up to buy his own pet reindeer, but there was one prize Freddie desperately wanted: a photograph taken with Santa fresh out of the chimney. Oh, it was risky, as every good kid knows. Santa only visits when everyone's in bed. It's awfully hard to sneak anything by someone who can see you when you're sleeping and knows when you're awake. That's why Freddie had to be extra good this year at hiding his plans. Step 1 in Freddie's plan: string the roof with cans so the sleigh can land undetected. Step 2, rig the whole living room with motion-sensitive cameras. Step 3, put the milk and cookies on a pressure-sensitive plate. Step 4, practice staying up late. Finally, it was here, Christmas Eve. No one suspected a thing. Freddie was vigilant. It was almost midnight and Santa should be here any second. Yeah, any. Crash! What was that? The cans on the roof. Freddie raced to the window just in time to see disaster. Something big rolled right off the roof. Freddie tore outside. What had he done? Santa Claus, North Pole. Nice try, Freddie. Santa had duped him and dashed. Freddie was angry. No, that's not it. Embarrassed. No, not that either. He was sobbing his heart out, pounding the snow, having the most broken tantrum of his short life. Well, actually, Freddie felt fantastic. While the other kids nestled all snug in their beds, Freddie had played hide and seek with his hero. He even had a note from Santa that he could add to his collection. So what if Santa got away this year? It's fine. Maybe it's for the best. Maybe no one can outwit Santa Claus. No one, that is, except Freddie. Hey, there's always next year. Alrighty, everybody. The third Christmas-themed book I'm going to read you today is The Santa Trap by Jonathan Emmett. Here we go. Bradley Bartleby was bad. He'd been born bad. Before baby Bradley even left the hospital, he'd bitten the midwife on the bottom, stolen the doctor's stethoscope, and emptied his nappy into his grandmother's handbag. And the older brother got, the badder he became. Bradley's parents were immensely rich. They had a huge house with a garden that was big enough to lose an elephant in. They knew that the garden was big enough to lose an elephant in because they'd done exactly that. Bradley had demanded the elephant as a house pet, but treated it so badly that it escaped in the garden and was never seen again. Bradley's parents always gave him whatever he demanded, not because they thought he deserved it, but because they were terrified of him. Every Christmas, Mr. Bartleby hired a team of secretaries to type up the huge list of presents that his greedy son demanded from Santa Claus. Of course, Santa knows what a beastly brat Bradley was, so he never looked at the list. But that didn't mean that he forgot about Bradley completely. Santa is such a kind-hearted old fella that he believes no child, even one as bad as Bradley, should go without a Christmas present. So every Christmas morning, Bradley would discover that Santa had left him the same small gift. Socks, howled Bradley. Another pair of stupid socks. Never mind, Bradley dear, cried Mr. and Mrs. Bartleby as they rushed in with a trolley load of presents. Look, Mommy and Daddy have got you everything you wanted. But I don't want presents from you, roared Bradley. I want presents from Santa Claus, like everyone else. And he stormed back to his room. The next morning, Mr. and Mrs. Bartleby were alarmed to discover that their son had climbed up inside the living room chimney. They were even more alarmed to discover that Bradley had nailed several sticks of dynamite around the chimney walls. What are you doing, dear? Asked Mrs. Bartleby nervously. What does it look like? Scowled Bradley. I'm building a trap. A trap, said Mrs. Bartleby. A trap for what? For Santa Claus, snarled Bradley. I'm going to catch that fat fool and take every present he's got. Mr. and Mrs. Bartleby were speechless. In a lifetime of badness, this was quite the baddest thing that Bradley had ever tried to do. Mr. Bartleby was the first to come to his senses. "Isn't it a little early to be setting a trap?" he gasped. "It will be a whole year before Santa comes again. And oh, this is only the beginning," scoffed Bradley. "It'll take a whole year to finish it all." And he was right. Bradley spent the rest of the winter fixing dynamite inside all the other chimneys. And the spring training tigers, which he stole from the local zoo, he spent the summer fitting guillotines over all the doors and windows, and the autumn cutting trapdoors into all the floors. By the time December came around again, Bradley had turned the entire house into one stupendous Santa trap. By Christmas Eve, their home was so dangerous that Mr. and Mrs. Bartleby had moved out into a hotel, leaving Bradley alone in the house. "No more stupid socks," thought Bradley. "This Christmas, I'll get exactly what I want. This Christmas, I'll get the whole lot." But as the evening grew darker, Bradley's eyelids grew heavier. His evil efforts had left him quite exhausted, and he soon fell fast asleep. It's almost midnight when Bradley was awoken by the roar of an angry tiger whose tail had just been stepped on by an elephant. The house had grown chilly, and when he looked outside, Bradley was surprised to find the garden covered in a thick blanket of snow. Shivering with cold, Bradley decided to light a fire. It was only when the flames began to lick up the chimney that Bradley remembered the dynamite. Boom! Yow! The explosion blew Bradley right through the living room window and out into the rose bushes below. Cursing loudly, Bradley struggled free of the thorny stems. He had barely caught his breath when 6 sleek, stripy shapes came bounding towards him out of the snow. "Nice pussies!" squealed Bradley as he fled back through the rose bushes with the tigers snapping at his heels. The tigers chased Bradley around the garden twice before he was able to lose them by diving in a heap of fresh elephant dung and creeped back to the house. Determined not to be caught in any more of his own traps, Bradley took a deep breath and prepared himself before opening the front door. "Aha!" he cried triumphantly as he leaped clear of the falling guillotine. "Arg!" he cried miserably as he fell through the trap door. Sometime later, as the sun rose on Christmas morning, a scratched, scraped, and badly bruised Bradley limped back to the living room. There wasn't much of the fireplace left, but amazingly, his stocking was still hanging up. And even more amazingly, Bradley could see that there was something inside. Bradley hobbled over, tore down the stocking, and clang! The metal cage dropped over him. Bradley leapt out a long sigh. He knew that he was beaten, so he slumped down inside the cage and emptied his stocking onto the floor. For the first time ever, Santa had left Bradley more than one present. There was a big box of bandages, a large jar of antiseptic, and a nice new pair of socks. The end. Alrighty, everybody. The fourth Christmas themed book I'm going to read you today is Santa's Sleigh. It's on its way to my house by A Christmas Adventure by Eric James. Here we go. The moon is in the night sky. Gives off a cool glow. The houses lie snug under blankets of snow. The star-sprinkled sky is especially bright. Hey Santa, please visit tonight. The frosty white snowmen stand perfectly still. Their hats and their scarves keep out the night chill. The icicles sparkle and snow fills the air. The magic of Christmas is felt everywhere. The Christmas trees twinkle. The eggnog smells sweet. The stockings are out for the gifts, not your feet. The garlands and the paper chains hang from the ceiling and give the whole household the Christmassy feeling. They scurry upstairs, for they heard it is said that Santa comes once you're asleep in your bed. Excited young children with heads full of wishes leave large Christmas cookies and carrots on dishes. The yawns of young children grow stronger and stronger. I don't think that okay. I don't think they'll stay awake for much longer. They stretch out of their arms and they rub their eyes too. They're soon sleeping soundly, all children but you. You stand at your window and gaze at the sky with hopes that you'll see Santa's sleigh whizzing by. You almost nod off, but see movement ahead. A flurry of white snow and some flashes of red. You jump up and down as the shape becomes clear. Hey Santa, my home's over here. But something is wrong. There are sparks everywhere. The sleigh twists and turns as it swoops through the air. You're wide awake now. You've had such a fright. There's no chance of sleep till you know he's all right. You think about Santa, his reindeer, and the sleigh. Hey Santa, I hope you're okay. Yes, Santa is fine. He's down in the park replacing the fuse for his sleigh in the dark. He tugs on the reins, shouting, up, away, and hits the ignition, which starts up his sleigh. The park. With magical speed only Santa possesses, he visits well over 1,000 addresses. He shoots through the night sky delivering toys and visits each home without making a noise. Supermarket. Now Santa has been to all houses but one. He can't go back home till this last house is done. It's your house, of course, but you're still wide awake. He circles above as he takes a small break. As that's when you see him, you know he's all right. Your head hits the pillow. You're out like a light. He lands on the roof to the sound of your snores. It's Santa! He's coming indoors. But arg! You wake up and you jump to your feet. You're sure you'll forget to leave Santa a treat. Will Santa leave presents for someone so rude? You must go downstairs and make sure he has food. You enter the kitchen and turn on the light, not spotting the figure who ducks out of sight. You're still half asleep, so you don't find it weird that the broom has a hat and a coat and a beard. You get out the cookies, still rubbing your eyes, too blurry to make out his clever disguise. You open the fridge door, but don't spot the broom as it sweeps past you into the family room. With a plate in your hands, you head off to the tree. You're feeling so sleepy, you don't even see a sight that would have your heart skipping a beat. The curtains have sprouted 2 Santa-sized feet. Still sleepy, you head back to bed with a smile. The panic is over. It's all been worthwhile. You climb up the staircase, not once looking back, as a chuckling Santa takes toys from his sack. Ho, ho, ho! Now Santa is leaving. His sleigh races high. It sparkles and fizzes and lights up the sky. The street lights below him grow dim in the night. Hey Santa, please have a safe flight. Soon Santa is leaving your hometown behind, where children are lovely and grown-ups are kind, and that he brooms loudly, his voice full of cheer. Ho, 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 children, I'll see you next year. The end. Alrighty, everybody. Really hope you enjoyed the last elf-themed book today and those stories about Santa. Thank you so much again for joining me and for watching. It's always a pleasure being with you and reading with you. Please comment on the videos as always and let me know what you think of the pics. I always like to hear your feedback. Have a good rest of your day, and join me as I still have 2 more Christmas themed editions to go of Storytime with Robbie. One right before Christmas and one just after Christmas on the Saturday. So make sure you're here for it, because they're gonna be great. Until then, I will see you later. Toodaloo.